Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This video is very unplanned. I thought I had more time. If you've been following my vlogs for a while, then you know that my sister-in-law's kiddie pool in her backyard got like filled with tadpoles. There was hundreds of them. And yeah, so we decided to bring a few home. We brought like 5 home. We put them in our 10-gallon aquarium just to like watch them grow for fun. And this guy right here has grown much faster than the other ones. The other 4 are still in my tank. I can show them to you here in a second. They still have long tails. They barely have legs. They're going to take a few more days. But this, I just happened to look at my tank and I'm so glad I did, because this guy looked like he was drowning. He was like down at the bottom of the tank. He did not look good. So I pulled him out and I put him in here. Once my son wakes up from his nap, I think we're gonna run to Petco and get something to put in the bottom of this little tank, or maybe we'll pick up like a slightly bigger aquarium. Like I said, I thought I had more time to prepare for them getting bigger and turning into frogs. So at this stage, he still has a tiny little bit of a tail left on him right through here. I'm not sure how well you can even see it through the container. I can see him breathing. He seems to be doing better. He moves a little bit if I poke him, but I'm trying not to touch him really any at all. He's got all 4 legs. He's a little sticky guy. You can see he's just kind of like clinging. The more he dries off from the aquarium water, the more he seems to be moving around. So I'm hoping he's going to be okay and he pulls through, because when I pulled him out of the tank, was not sure if he was dead or alive. I looked at him last night and he still had quite a bit of a tail to him. So I thought, you know, he's a little bigger than the others. Like, well, not bigger, but like he's more frog-like than the others. But I still thought I had more time, because the other ones, they only have back legs. He already had his front legs, but he still had quite a tail to him yesterday. And today, like, his tail is just like about gone. There's hardly any there. And so I just looked up froglets, which is apparently what he's called at this stage. And at this stage, they need to go into a container with some moist dirt at the bottom. I thought about pulling some dirt out of my front yard, but I think I'd rather go get something from Petco. I'm sure it can't be very expensive. Just to make sure that there's no chemicals or anything in it. I don't want to hurt him, and we do spray our yard for bugs. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to run up to Petco as soon as my son wakes up. So we already have one of these guys ready to go. I am going to assume by the end of the week the other 4 will be ready for release, because he was about at their stage at the beginning of the week. So I don't know why he grows so much faster than all the others. I don't know why he's like a week ahead, but he is, and we're here, and thankfully I think he's gonna make it. He's seeming a little more alert in there. Like I said, the more he dries out, the more alert he's looking. Like, I can see him breathing. He's kind of like blinking his eyes. Like I said, I don't know that all that is picking up on camera, but he seems to be doing a little bit better in there. So we'll let him chill out there, and we'll get him some proper dirt in a better container later on. So let me show you the other guys where we're at. And yeah, this is going to be my tadpole releasing video. It's going to be a bit of a compilation. He will likely have to get released first, which is totally fine. The other ones seem to be about at the same track. Like, they seem to be like going at the same speed. I don't know why he is so ahead of the game. He's just mature for his age. But I'll go ahead and show you guys what the other ones look like, and then I'll come back later on and show you, you know, my froglet container and what we're doing from there. So this is the 10-gallon aquarium that we have the tadpoles housed in right now. All of this is called Java moss, in case you're wondering. It's supposed to be their healthy, good plant. Here's one of the tadpoles floating around. I don't know if you can see, he's got like 2 legs in the back. We've got 2 more tadpoles. We've got one right here next to a snail, if my phone will focus in on him, and then there's one in the back wiggling around eating back there. You can see him pretty good. This guy already has front legs. I didn't realize that, so he's got his back and his front. So I imagine with another day or 2, he's gonna need to go into the froglet container. The guys in the back there look like they only have their back legs. So that's 3 out of the 5. Oh, there's number 4. So they're all about the same pace. He doesn't have front legs yet either. So, because this is about what the one in the froglet container, he looked about like this. If I can get the glare to go away, sorry. He looked about like this at the beginning of the week. all four legs and a tail, and the tail just shrunk so quickly. So I imagine we need to keep a close eye on him. He'll be ready soon. This is the tank they've been growing in, and I'll keep you guys updated as they transfer into the froglet container. So just came back from the pet store. We picked up a little container for the frogs to go into, and we also picked up some soil. They said this is okay to use for the frogs, that this will work totally okay, and it's a soil that you can kind of get wet. So let's get this little guy in his new home. So this is what our little terrarium is looking like currently. We've got all the wet dirt in there, and we've got a little cap full of water. I wasn't exactly sure how much water to put in there, so we just went with a small cap full. I didn't want to drown him like he looked like he was drowning earlier in the fish tank, so we just went with a small cap of water. Hopefully that's enough. I think it's enough that he can just kind of sit and submerge himself without like being too deep, and then he can crawl right back out. So let's go ahead and put our little froglet in his new home. Okay, so it is kind of time for a tadpole update. Our little green guy is ready to go. I'm gonna see if I can show you him here in a moment. There's also another guy down here. He might be ready to go too. When I put him in here, he still had a little bit of a tail left, which is what happens. They kind of start to slow down, they stop eating, and they start to absorb their tail. And this guy's looking pretty good too. So I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see through here. We got the little green guy, he's like literally sitting right here. And we have a brown one down here. I'm wondering if the green one is male and if the brown one isn't female, or maybe there are two different species of frog. I really couldn't tell you. I'll try to let you guys see him really quickly, but then we're gonna take him outside and let him go. And before we do that, I'll show you guys what the tadpoles are looking like. We have one tadpole that officially has all four legs. So within another day, probably, it's gonna need to go into this container. And then we have two more tadpoles that are still looking like tadpoles. Before we go any further in this video, I just wanna like kind of tell you guys why I took the tadpoles out of their natural environment and brought them home to watch them grow into frogs. So, I'm not gonna lie, the first and main reason was because I thought it would be neat to watch them grow into frogs, okay? The second reason is because they were living in my sister-in-law's kiddie pool. It was one of those like vinyl kiddie pools. It's fairly tall. And now that these guys are getting bigger, I question if they had grew up in the kiddie pool, if they would have been able to climb out of it. Because after seeing what that little green guy did, after getting all four legs and kind of absorbing half his tail, he just kind of like sunk to the bottom of my aquarium. I don't know that he could have gotten out of the kiddie pool, for one. For two, she has children, shocker. And though they are wanting to watch the tadpoles grow up, and they had hundreds of tadpoles in this kiddie pool. My sister-in-law wasn't exactly sure if her kids would definitely leave the pool alone. There was definitely a threat of the kids like emptying the pool out, you know, like it already happened one time. They had a first batch of tadpoles. The kids wanted to watch them grow up, and then her son decided he was over it and ran outside and just like pushed the pool in and flooded the yard, and there went the tadpoles. So when they got the second batch, she tried to better explain to them and was like, if you want to watch the tadpoles grow, you gotta leave them in the pool. And it sounds like so far she's left them alone and they've done fine. However, I still went ahead and took a batch, and I did it because yes, it's fun to watch them grow, but also there's a risk that they might lose all of them. If I had found these in like a creek or something, I would have definitely left them alone. So I didn't feel bad taking them out of a kiddie pool, you know? So anyways, I've done a little bit of research. I think this is just like your basic green tree frog species. They spend most of their time in trees. I've got a big tree in my front yard, so I will show you guys the tadpoles and then we'll head outside to let these ones go. Show these ones to you guys first. So where is it? She blends right in with the dirt. Right here, this little lump right back there is the tadpole slash frog now, tiny little frog. Let me see if you can see her eyes. Like, she just blends right in, right there. You guys might not even, it's literally this lump right here. My phone's not even wanting to focus on her. But there's one of the frogs, whether you can see it or not. And then the other one is liking to hang up here. Can you see him? How bright and pretty green he is. He still has a little bit of his tail to him, so he could probably do another day or so in here, but he's climbing like a champ. He's all over the place. He's very strong and healthy, so we're gonna let him go. And then her down here, she's still pretty sedimentary, so we'll see how strong she is. I might let her stay another day or so in the tank, but it looks like she's pretty much lost her tail, so I think she's probably ready to get released. So here's a tadpole with 4 legs. Apparently I have an extra tadpole in here. I thought I had 5 tadpoles total. Turns out I had 6. So this guy cannot swim anymore with his tail. So he probably by tomorrow or so needs to come out. His tail's still pretty long, so I think he'll be okay in there for another day or so. But he can't really swim anymore, so he's gonna need to come out probably tomorrow morning. Tadpoles, we got one of them right back there with his little back froggy legs. And we have another one over here on this side. You guys tell me, is that the one with all 4 legs or is that the one with just back legs? I can't really tell from this angle. And we've got a third one that is in here somewhere. I don't really know where, but I seen it this morning and it was doing good. So just know I'm sure they're fine in there wherever they're at. Find your exit, buddy. Kind of rolled you the wrong direction there, but we've got 1 froggy and 2 froggies. That one just blends right in. You can never see her, can you? Good luck, little guys. Have a nice life. We have another guy right there ready to go outside. So let's go and release him. Here he is. Natural environment for the win. Hey guys, today I look like a trash panda, so don't judge me. So time for a tadpole update. We'll go ahead and get the sad news out of the way first. 2 of the tadpoles died. I don't know why. One of them I found on my bathroom floor, and at the time it only had 2 back legs, so I know it did not crawl out of the fish tank on its own. I'm blaming my cat. I'm not exactly sure how my cat managed to get it out of the fish tank, but that is who I'm pointing fingers at. That's the first time it's ever, my cat, that's the first time he's ever taken anything out of my fish tank. Other than water lettuce, he used to dig that out. But that was in a different tank and with a different lid. This lid I didn't think he could get into. Apparently he can. So that one I know how it passed away pretty much. The other one just kind of like disappeared. I'm assuming it died of natural causes and that the snails did their thing in there. I've kept a very close eye on them, so I know it's not a thing of like they fully developed and then drowned, because I've been keeping a very close eye, especially after that first frog when it developed very quickly and it almost drowned, because I thought I had more time. After that, and like I said, we got him out, he's good, he's been released. I've kept a very close eye on the tadpoles, and I check them every morning and every evening and just keep a really good eye on them. And yeah, I went to, you know, check on them before bed one night. They were in there, and then I woke up the next morning and one of them was gone and I couldn't find it. And you know, that happened again a few days later. And it's possible that my cat got out both of the tadpoles, but if that's the case, then I have another dead tadpole somewhere in my house, which is a possibility. So that's the sad news. But the happy news is that we have our last tadpole ready to go. You can see him right there, little froggy face. He's officially a frog, a bright green little tree frog in there. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see his coloring. We're in my back bedroom because my toddler would not be quiet if I was in the other room. So this is just so you guys can hear me. So it has a bright, pretty green color, so I'm assuming that means it's a male. So this is our third male, and we've had one, what I'm assuming is a female, because she was like a dark brown. But he's ready to go. So let's go release him into the wild.